Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Smackdown review. Smackdown tonight was from the PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and the show just ended. And Smackdown tonight, I thought it was a good show, in my opinion. Tonight we saw AJ Styles versus LA Knight to determine who will face Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed WWE Championship at Backlash in France. We had a fatal four-way to determine who will face Austin Theory and also Grayson Waller for the Smackdown Tag Team Championship. So it was the Street Profits versus New Catch Republic, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne versus Humberto and Angel versus the Final Testament, AOP, the Authors of Pain. And we also had Santos Escobar. He had taken on Carlito. And the main event, we had Bayley versus Naomi. But overall, SmackDown tonight, good show it was. And also, we had the reveal of the new SmackDown Tag Team Championships, which, they look absolutely great. The picture of the titles is my thumbnail for the video, so that's what the SmackDown Tag Team Championships look like. And on Monday Night Raw this past Monday, which I didn't review, they also revealed the Raw Tag Team Championship, which I really like as well. I think they look nice. But before I get into the review, news broke out during SmackDown. 3 superstars have been released by WWE. So, Zion Quinn was released. Xia Li is gone from WWE. She announced that on X. And also, Jinder Mahal is gone from WWE. But Zion Quinn, I thought he was, decent in the ring. Whenever he was on TV. Xia Li, she was, good in the ring. But Xia Li wrote this on X, and I'm going to read it here. She ended up saying, and I quote, "It has been over 7 years since I joined WWE, and as the first female Chinese superstar, I feel incredibly proud. I am sincerely grateful to WWE and Triple H for welcoming me into this big family. During this valuable time, I have not only grown tremendously, but also learned countless invaluable experiences. Thank you for your trust and the opportunities you have given me to break barriers and set an example. A special thank you to all the coaches, colleagues, and staff who have helped me along the way. Your support and assistance have made me feel at home in a foreign land. I also want to thank all the WWE fans. Your cheers not only motivate me, but also make me feel endless love and support. Your backing is my strength. This journey with WWE has been wonderful, and I sincerely thank everyone who has been a part of it. This is not the end, but a new beginning. Let's embrace more exciting moments together." End quote. So that was what Xia Li ended up writing on Twitter or X. And Jinder Mahal took to X and he ended up writing, and I quote, "I quit. Maharaja out." And he put a emoji, money bag. And it also said on, his X account that he is a free agent, 90 days. So, 90 days, these 3 superstars will compete after, those 90 days are up. So, wish them luck, wherever they go. But, let's hope, they, find, somewhere else to go. Jinder Mahal, predict that he will possibly be maybe in TNA. Xia Li, she'll probably work in the Indies and then get back to, wherever. Maybe she'll go to AEW, maybe to TNA, who knows. Or maybe go back to, New Japan. Zion Quinn, maybe he'll compete in the Indies again. But wish all three of them, luck. But anyways, let's jump right into the review. Smackdown opened up tonight with the first match of the night. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. This was a number one contenders match to determine who will face Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed WWE Championship at Backlash in France. And this was a very good match here. Both Knight and Styles end up delivering. We had LA Knight end up coming out first. The crowd end up popping for Knight. Of course, we all went, yeah! And then AJ Styles end up coming out. Styles' music is just awful. His new music. But the match ended up going on the way. We had both Knight and Styles, being face to face. We had Styles end up delivering a kick to Knight. He ended up getting Knight into a headlock. Knight ended up delivering some elbows to Styles. And he then got Styles into a headlock. Styles then threw Knight to the ropes. Knight then delivered a clothesline, which took Styles down. He then threw Styles to the outside. Knight ended up slamming Styles' head into the commentary table, and he brought Styles back into the ring. Knight got on the ring apron, and as he was getting into the ring, Styles delivered a kick to Knight. Styles then ended up grabbing Knight, but Knight ended up throwing Styles back to the outside, and then Knight delivered a baseball slide onto Styles, and then SmackDown went to commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, we had both Knight and Styles deliver a double cross body in the middle of the ring, so both guys were down. Both Styles and Knight got back up to their feet. Knight delivered some right hands and a running knee to Styles. He placed Styles up on the top rope. Knight then delivered a superplex off the top rope to Styles. Nice superplex here. So Knight ended up going for the cover. Styles ended up kicking out. Knight ended up running towards Styles, but Styles delivered a back elbow. Styles then jumped off the second rope, and he delivered a moonsault, but he landed on his feet, and he ended up pinning a inverted DDT to Knight. So Styles ended up going for the cover. Knight kicked out. Styles was on the ring apron. He ended up going for the phenomenal forearm, but Knight ended up ducking. Styles landed on his feet, and Knight ended up hitting Styles with a power slam. Knight then delivered a jumping elbow drop to Styles. Knight then ended up going for the BFT, the blunt force trauma, but Styles ended up rolling onto the ring apron. Knight then ended up grabbing Styles, but Styles ended up hanging Knight up on the top rope, and he raked Knight's eyes, and the referee didn't see that. So Styles then ended up hitting Knight with the phenomenal forearm. Styles ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Styles ended up winning the match. Overall, this was a very good match between Knight and Styles here. Obviously, the right guy ended up winning the match, and it's going to be Styles versus Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed WWE Championship at Backlash, in France. But overall, very good match it was. And then we went into the parking lot. Paul Heyman was standing outside. Solo Sikoa ended up stepping out of a black SUV, and he was wearing a suit. Paul Heyman ended up telling Sikoa that he is looking sharp. And so Tama Tonga ended up standing behind Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman looked nervous. Sikoa ended up telling Paul Heyman that Tama is his MFT. So Sikoa ended up asking Paul Heyman if Kevin Owens is in the arena. Paul Heyman ended up telling Sikoa that he is. And Sikoa ended up telling Paul Heyman to take him to Kevin Owens. So pretty much that was basically that. Tama Tonga, is the newest member of the Bloodline. Solo Sikoa is the new tribal chief. But this Bloodline, story, just keeps delivering. And then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, we saw SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis was in the ring, and he ended up introducing the Chief Content Officer, Triple H, Paul Levesque. So Triple H ended up coming out. He ended up coming to the ring. And while Triple H was walking down to the ring, we saw the screen end up scrambling. And a QR code was displayed for a second on the screen. Now, these QR codes could mean one thing. That we might get Uncle Howdy. We might get Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, and a new Wyatt family in tribute to Bray Wyatt. That's what I've been hearing, but this all may lead into that. So then Triple H ended up getting into the ring. Fans were chanting Triple H, and he ended up getting on the mic. Triple H ended up welcoming everyone to SmackDown. He ended up going on to say that Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis are doing an incredible job in leading their respective brands into the future. Triple H wanted to say that the future is bright when talking about the future. He ended up saying you have to talk about the history. And when history is made, it is talked in a positive light. So then Nick Aldis ended up introducing the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. So Austin Theory and Grayson Waller ended up coming out. They got into the ring. Waller ended up saying on Monday, Triple H got to award the second best championships to Awesome Truth, the Raw Tag Team Championships, which, looked awesome. He ended up saying that tonight Triple H will honor them with their new championships. So Theory ended up saying that R-Truth called Triple H a magician, but he doesn't know what kind of magic trick he has that will make them look better than they already do. So Triple H ended up telling Theory and Waller, with that said, congratulations on becoming tag team champions. So Triple H then revealed the new SmackDown Tag Team Championships. It kind of resembled, the old WWE Tag Team Championships from the 90s. And I gotta say, the titles look really awesome. Love the designs on them. So Triple H ended up extending his hand for Grayson Waller to shake it. But Waller ended up laughing. Waller did not even shake Triple H's hand, which the crowd ended up booing at that. So Nick Aldis ended up telling Waller that if he disrespects Triple H again, he will make A-Town Clown Under disappear. So Nick Aldis then grabbed the old belts. He ended up saying that the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match starts now. So pretty much that was basically how the segment ended. But like I said, the new SmackDown Tag Team titles look great. Love the design on them. And then, as SmackDown came back from the commercial, Kayla Braxton was backstage. She was with Naomi. So Naomi ended up telling Kayla Braxton that she loves Bayley and that she helped her against Damage Control, but she won't let friendship get in the way of a championship match. She kept saying that it has been 2 years since she had a singles championship match. So that was what Naomi had to say. And then we had the Fatal 4-Way match to determine the number one contenders for the Smackdown Tag Team Championships, to face, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. So it was the Street Profits versus New Catch Republic, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne versus Legado del Fantasma versus the Authors of Pain. And this was a very good Fatal 4-Way here. Really enjoyed it. Both Austin Theory and Grayson Waller were on commentary here. The match ended up getting on the way. We had Tyler Bate and Montez Ford start off the match. So both Bate and Ford end up exchanging reversals and cover attempts. Humberto then ended up slapping Tyler Bate, ended up tagging himself in. Humberto and Tyler Bate end up double teaming on Montez Ford, and Angel then tagged in. He ended up going for the cover, and Montez Ford ended up kicking out. Dawkins was then tagged in. He ended up hitting a flying back elbow onto Angel. Montez Ford got on the top rope, but AOP ended up getting to the ring, and they ended up knocking Montez Ford down. And so SmackDown went to commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Razor of the Authors of Pain was in the ring with Montez Ford, but Tyler Bate ended up taking himself in. So we had Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne in the ring. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne ended up double teaming on Razor. In came Angel, and they ended up double teaming on him. Razor got back to his feet. Tyler Bate ended up trying to lift Razor, but Razor ended up knocking him down. Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, and Pete Dunne end up getting Razor on Tyler Bates' shoulders, and Tyler Bate ended up going for the airplane spin, but Angel and Humberto end up breaking that up. It would have been a good moment if, Tyler Bate ended up doing that airplane spin to Razor, or him even slamming Razor. I mean, Razor is a big guy. That would have been a good moment in the match there. So all four teams were fighting in the ring. Humberto ended up taking himself in. Humberto is the legal guy. Humberto ended up going for the cover on Tyler Bate. Pete Dunne ended up breaking up the pin. So we had Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. They ended up locking in ankle locks on both Angel and Humberto. So Humberto ended up pushing Tyler Bate away onto Pete Dunne because Pete Dunne ended up sitting down and locking in the ankle lock. So, like I said, Humberto ended up pushing Tyler Bate away onto Pete Dunne, and the ankle lock was broken up. So then SmackDown went to commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Razor was in the ring with both Dawkins and Tyler Bate. Razor ended up tagging in Akam, but we had Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne end up taking them down. In came Angel and Humberto of Legado del Fantasma. All four teams were in the ring. They teamed up against the Authors of Pain and threw them to the outside. Humberto ended up taking himself in. He ended up going for the cover on Dawkins. Dawkins kicked out. Humberto then ended up running towards Dawkins, but Dawkins ended up throwing him across the ring. Montez Ford was then tagged in, and both of the Profits ended up hitting them with the blockbuster off the top rope, which was great. Montez Ford ended up going for the cover. Tyler Bate broke up the pin. Ford then delivered a kick onto Tyler Bate. Humberto then delivered a jawbreaker. Tyler Bate was then tagged in. Everyone was on the outside. And we had Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. They ended up delivering moonsaults off the second rope. And Montez Ford delivered a flying senton over the top rope onto both Angel Humberto and Authors of Pain. Very good spot there from, New Catch Republic and, Montez Ford. So at the end of the match, we had Dawkins end up taking himself in. He ended up throwing Angel to the ropes, and they ended up pinning Angel with the revelation. Dawkins ended up going for the cover, and there you go. The Street Profits ended up winning the match. The Street Profits are now the number one contenders for the Smackdown Tag Team Championships. So they will face Grayson Waller and Austin Theory with the titles on the line. So post-match, Bobby Lashley and B-Fab, they end up coming out to celebrate with the Profits. And that was that. But overall, very good Fatal 4-Way this was. Good wrestling, good action from these four teams. It was very enjoyable. And then we saw Byron Saxton. Byron Saxton was backstage with Bayley, the women's champion. So Bayley ended up telling Byron that after seeing Rhea vacate her title on Raw on Monday, it makes her appreciate it more. Of course, Rhea Ripley is out with an injury. She had to vacate the Women's World Championship. So Bayley ended up saying that she is the only women's champion in WWE, but she does not take that for granted. She ended up saying that there is one thing that is not going to change, and that is her as the WWE Women's Champion. So pretty much that was basically what Bayley had to say. And then we see Solo Sikoa and Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman ended up apologizing to Sikoa, telling him that they can't find Kevin Owens, but they will find him. Sikoa then began to walk away, but Paul Heyman ended up stopping him. He ended up telling Sikoa that he is not trying to piss him off. The last person on the planet he wants to piss off is Sikoa. Paul Heyman ended up telling Sikoa that respectfully, he is making decisions that are not his yet. He ended up saying these are decisions that can only be made by one man. So Sikoa ended up asking Paul Heyman, "Are you done?" So Paul Heyman ended up asking Sikoa if his MST is coming with them. Sikoa then raised his thumb, his music ended up hitting, and him and Paul Heyman end up walking down to the ring. And then Smackdown with the commercial. So then when Smackdown came back from the commercial, Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa were in the ring. Paul Heyman got on the mic. He introduced himself to this whole shtick, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman." And Paul Heyman ended up talking about the backstage politics within the bloodline. So the fans were chanting, "We want Roman." So Paul Heyman ended up telling them that as the wise man and then Sikoa ended up snatching the mic away from Paul Heyman. Fans were chanting, "Solo sucks." And, at this point, Solo Sikoa was trying to get a word on the mic. The fans just booed the hell out of him. So Sikoa ended up saying that last week he had to lose a brother in order for him to find a new one. His MFT, Tama Tonga. So the fans ended up booing Sikoa. We then cut to the ramp, and we saw Kevin Owens was down on the stage. Tama Tonga stepped from behind, threw Kevin Owens across the ramp. Kevin Owens was bleeding profusely. So officials ended up running down, tried to break up everything that was happening with Tonga and Kevin Owens. Tama Tonga stepped over Kevin Owens. He got into the ring. So Tama Tonga raised his hand in the ring. Sikoa and Paul Heyman end up raising their hands. Kevin Owens ended up running back down. He then grabbed Tama Tonga to the outside, but Sikoa ended up throwing Kevin Owens into the ring steps, and then he ended up throwing Owens into the ring. Tonga ended up getting in the ring, but Owens ended up tripping him up. Security ended up breaking it up, but Sikoa delivered a Samoan spike onto Kevin Owens. Tonga then delivered some right hands onto Owens. Tonga then pushed the security away. More security ended up running down to break things up. Tonga ended up going to the outside. He ended up grabbing a steel chair. Nick Aldis got into the ring, and he stood in front of Kevin Owens. Sikoa ended up telling Tonga to back off. So he then ended up grabbing the chair from Tonga, threw it to the outside. So Tonga and Sikoa then left the ring. Paul Heyman was with them. Paul Heyman was scared. He was like... So Tonga then ended up raising his hand. Sikoa looked at Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman ended up raising his hand. Sikoa then stood in the middle, and he raised his hand as well. So that was basically that. But overall, very good segment this was, with the Bloodline and Kevin Owens. And, Kevin Owens bleeding made this segment, a whole lot better. Looks like we're going to be getting Tonga versus Kevin Owens, at some point. That should be a very good match there. Tonga is just a beast. So then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, Nick Aldis was outside. And he ended up grabbing Paul Heyman. Aldis ended up asking Paul Heyman if he knew about this. The camera then ended up panning to two cars rammed into each other. Nick Aldis ended up telling Paul Heyman that one of those cars belonged to Kevin Owens. And the other car belonged to Tonga. Paul Heyman ended up telling Nick Aldis that he did not know about this. So Nick Aldis ended up telling Paul Heyman that on SmackDown, these things get resolved in the ring. And, when we saw the two cars ram into each other, smoke was coming out of them. Pretty much that was basically that. And then we had Carlito versus Santos Escobar. Carlito was accompanied by Zelina Vega. Santos Escobar accompanied by Elektra Lopez. This was a decent match here. Match got underway. Carlito delivered some right hands and a spine buster to Escobar. Carlito ended up going for the cover, but Escobar ended up kicking out. Carlito then threw Escobar into the ropes, and Carlito ended up delivering a drop kick. Escobar went to the outside, and Carlito delivered a crossbody over the top rope onto Escobar. Then SmackDown went to commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Escobar delivered a chop to Carlito's chest in the corner. He placed Carlito on the top rope and kicked Carlito to the side of his head. Escobar then climbed the second rope. He ended up landing a Hurricanrana onto Carlito. Escobar ended up going for the cover, and Carlito ended up kicking out. Escobar then grabbed Carlito, but Carlito came back with some punches and a clothesline to Escobar. Carlito went to the ropes. He delivered a knee to Escobar's face. He went for the cover, and Escobar ended up kicking out. Carlito then climbed the second rope, and Elektra Lopez got on the ring apron. Elektra Lopez ended up distracting the ref. Zelina ended up tripping Elektra up. She ended up going for her Hurricanrana on the ring apron, but Elektra Lopez ended up grabbing Zelina, and she ended up slamming her into the barricade. Carlito was on the ring apron, and he was getting into the ring. Escobar ended up kicking the second rope. Escobar ended up grabbing Carlito, and he ended up hitting him with the Phantom Driver. Escobar ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Santos Escobar ended up winning the match. Overall, decent match this was. And then we saw Kayla Braxton. Kayla Braxton was in the luxury box with Damage Control. We saw Io Sky, Dakota Kai, and the Kabuki Warriors, Kairi Sane, and Asuka. Dakota Kai ended up telling Kayla Braxton that Io will get her title back when she is ready. She ended up saying they're there to watch two people they can't stand tear each other apart. Dakota ended up saying that the Kabuki Warriors are still the women's tag team champions, and that won't change. And all we heard was Jade Cargill's music end up hitting. So Jade Cargill and also Bianca Belair appeared next to Damage Control in the luxury box. So I think, it's going to be Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair versus the Kabuki Warriors at some point with the women's tag team titles on the line. That's how the way I see it going and panning out. And then as SmackDown came back from the commercial, we had a pre-recorded promo from Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes ended up talking about how it will be two Georgia boys, him and Styles, going at it at Backlash. Cody Rhodes ended up calling Styles the modern excellence of execution. So that was what, Cody Rhodes had to say. Main event, Bayley versus Naomi. The Women's Championship was on the line. Forgot to mention that, at the beginning of the video, that the title was on the line here. But it was a okay matchup here, but we all knew how the ending of the match was going to go. You knew that both women could not lose here. So the match got underway. We had Bayley end up locking in a headlock on Naomi. She ended up going for the cover, and Naomi ended up kicking out. Bayley then delivered a hip toss to Naomi. She ended up running to the ropes. She knocked Naomi down with a shoulder tackle. So we had both women end up delivering a double crossbody to each other. Naomi ended up delivering a drop kick and a bulldog to Bayley. She ended up going for the cover, and Bayley ended up kicking out. Naomi ended up running to the ropes. She ended up pinning Bayley with the rear view, which I hate that move. I really do. So Naomi ended up going for the cover, and Bayley ended up kicking out. And then SmackDown went to commercial. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Naomi ended up slapping Bayley face first into the turnbuckle. Naomi delivered a crossbody off the top rope to Bayley. She ended up going for the cover, and Bayley ended up kicking out. Naomi ended up going for a bulldog, but Bayley ended up throwing Naomi face first to the turnbuckle. We had a belly-to-back suplex delivered to Naomi from Bayley. She ended up going for the cover, and Naomi ended up kicking out. Bayley then climbed the top rope. She ended up going for the elbow drop, but Naomi ended up getting her knees up. Naomi was on the ring apron. She jumped over the top rope and landed a face buster on Bayley. She ended up going for the cover, and Bayley kicked out. Naomi then ended up going for the split-legged moonsault, but Bayley ended up getting her knees up. So at the end of the match, we had Bayley deliver a belly to belly onto the commentary table to Naomi. And then Tiffany Stratton jumped the rail. She ended up hitting Bayley with a forearm. The ref called for the bell, so Bayley ended up winning the match by disqualification. Tiffany Stratton ended up slamming Naomi's face first to the commentary table. This was post-match. She ended up throwing Bayley into the ring steps. Stratton then ended up grabbing Naomi and threw her face first into the ring post. She threw both Naomi and Bayley into the ring. She then climbed the top rope, and she ended up hitting both Bayley and Naomi with the prettiest moonsault ever. Tiffany Stratton then celebrated in the ring, and then SmackDown went off the air. Overall, we all knew how the end of this match was going to go. Neither Bayley or Naomi could not lose here. And looks like, they're setting this up maybe for a triple threat for the Women's Championship. So it'll be Bayley versus Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton. That's how the way I see it going. But Tiffany Stratton deserves to be in the title picture. But overall, SmackDown tonight, very good show it was. And of course, next week is the WWE Draft. It's going to start next Friday on SmackDown. and the following Monday on Monday Night Raw. But hopefully the draft this year will be good. Hopefully, it's different than, the other drafts that we have gotten. Hopefully Triple H will bring something new, for the draft. So it's not, oh yeah, we all know that he's going there or this one's going there. Let it be a surprise. Don't let us know where these superstars are going. Bring back like how the draft was in like 2002, 2003, like around there, where they had the Tumblr, and they choose a superstar's name from the Tumblr, and then, they get drafted to either Raw or Smackdown. I would like to see that come back. Hopefully Triple H will do something, like that for the draft this year. But anyways, that's it for the Smackdown review. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and until next video, I'll see you all later.